Well, let's take you live now to Diepsloot, where Police Minister, as you heard, is expected to go back to the area. Our senior reporter, Aviwe Mtila, has also returned to the area. Let's cross live to him for the latest. Aviwe, the Minister announcing through a statement now that he'll be coming to the area of Diepsloot once again today because, as we saw, I think this morning, there was no police presence around that man who lay dead on the streets.
That's a big question, Maseko. What actually happened to the promise of the tactical response team? We heard yesterday the promises of 30 additional members that would be sleeping in Diepsloot. I'm not sure if that sleeping was figurative or not, because it seems like they were asleep on the job if they were here. We heard how the mob justice actually happened, taking the life of Elvis Nyati, 43-year-old, who lives some 20 or so meters away. We heard this is the area where he actually was burned last night, Maseko, by the community of Diepsloot. We heard how that mob justice happened and how they were even wanting money or the identity document where he ran away, essentially. Eventually, the community catching up with him, and then, of course, that would lead to the end of his life. So we're expecting the Minister of Police, Bheki Cele, here, flanked by the Commissioner himself, Fani Masemola. They're currently at the Diepsloot police station currently now. I'm assuming that's where he'd be briefed by the station commander. In fact, we hear that he's on his way, the motorcade in itself, arriving, of course, right outside the home here where we are stationed. In fact, the crime scene where Elvis Nyati, the 43-year-old Zimbabwean national, lost his life. He was a gardener, Maseko. As you can see, this motorcade coming in. South African Police Service just ushering in the minister himself, which we do understand, accompanied by Fani Masemola. He's got answers. He's got a lot of questions to answer, Maseko, Bheki Cele, in terms of exactly what happened from those promises of the police coming in immediately to then seeing how we were told this door-to-door happened. Right inside this BMW is Fani Masemola. I can see there just outside him. But of course, and the minister coming in now in the cars that you see right this very moment. I can see even the councillor on the cars behind here, as we're expecting a person to come out of this car. Yes, it's correct, as I said it. This is Fani Masemola, the police commissioner, on the phone, coming from the Diepsloot police station, of course, coming now to the home of Elvis Nyati, the 43-year-old Zimbabwean national that lost his life last night. Commissioner?
Are you able to talk to us? We see you here today. It's not the first time you're in Diepsloot. A very tough situation. Someone has now been killed.
Yes, we are aware that there is somebody that was killed last night. Police were patrolling and they came across a group of people who ran away. And after the group have ran away, they find that somebody has been injured in the process, has been killed. So that's how the situation is. But we have sufficient deployment in the area, and we think the reinforcement are quite sufficient.
How is it sufficient then, Commissioner, if we're hearing the very incidences that the community was complaining about are still happening, they're still persisting in terms of this mob justice that we heard of?
Look, you can see the area is quite difficult to traverse the area, but there is sufficient deployment in this area. We have we promised vehicles, we have delivered vehicles, about 16 vehicles already in the area, and there is more than 120 police deployed in this area.
I was about to ask, have you met all those promises that were mentioned yesterday by the police minister in terms of the deployment that would happen? Because a lot of questions would be asked if we're seeing these deaths continuing.
Yes, death continuing, but all the commitments we made yesterday, they've been delivered. There are police in the area, more than 100, as I said, and we have delivered those vehicles Fortunately, there should be still administrative work in terms of registering those vehicles and so on, but the vehicles has been delivered.
Police Commissioner, is there any assurance that you can give South Africans as well as foreign nationals? There seems to be a lot of tenseness between the two at the moment, and there are, I must say, valid reasons that people are giving for some of the discontent. I'm in no way justifying the death that has taken place, absolutely not. But can you assure South Africans as well as foreign nationals that the situation that we're seeing at the moment is simply out of control?
No, there is no situation out of control.
Someone has died, Police Commissioner.
The fact
is it
that,
not?
yes, the fact that there is somebody who died does not mean the situation is out of control. We have deployment in this area, there are police, and we have made more than 24 arrests of illegal people, immigrants, undocumented people that are in the area. So it's not to say the situation is out of control. No, we are still managing the situation. There's basically is a manageable situation.
How are we then seeing the very situation continue if it's not out of control?
As I said, it is difficult to travel within certain areas. And remember, the person that was killed, police were not phoned to come out. Police were patrolling. They came across this group of people. You see the area yourself. If somebody runs away, police couldn't find anybody, and you have seen the area. It's not easy to travel within this area. So it's quite very, very problematic. But police are deployed. They will walk the area. They will drive the area as far as they can drive. So,
but Commissioner,
yes.
This man was killed on the main road. So wouldn't you say if police were patrolling and were deployed, as you said, they would have seen this? He wasn't killed in the back road. He was killed on this main road right here.
I explained. I said a police nyala came across this group of people, and they ran away into the houses or between the houses. The police were not called there. They were already there. That tells you police were on the road. And the 24 people arrested overnight were arrested by police.
Who are this group of people? Who do you know who committed this particular crime, aside from the 24
Has anyone been arrested for this particular incident, the murder?
No. There is nobody arrested yet for this murder. We are still investigating. As I said, the people that were there, they ran away, and we are still pursuing them with the assistance of some informers. We will get to the suspects.
Police Commissioner, I would take it that you will also be back here with the police minister tomorrow.
Yes.
To give back some word to the community. Who are you working with? Because this is not just a police matter. The issues that are being raised by the community, I guess, would involve your Department of Home Affairs and a host of other departments within government to try and get to a resolution of this. Are you sitting with any other stakeholders to find a long-lasting solution to the challenges here? Because it's not just a policing problem. Yes, there's issues of crime, but there's also issues of illegality that is taking place, which we can't rule out.
We do have the personnel from the Department of Home Affairs. They are deployed here with us. We also have personnel from the SARS, that is the South African Revenue Service. They are deployed in the area. So we are not alone. We do have our counterparts. There is also the provincial departments in terms of looking after the registration of shops and food safety and so on. So we do have an integrated approach to this problem.
You just came in, Commissioner, in the new role of the Police Commissioner. What will you be doing differently to tackle the issues that we're seeing, especially around undocumented foreign nationals and just the vigilantism that we're seeing? What will you be doing differently?
We will work with the Department of Home Affairs and make sure that those that do not have documents to be in South Africa, we take them through the processes so that they can be sent back home. So that's what we will be doing. And of course, as I said, remember, Department of Home Affairs do have some limited capacity. So, but within whatever capacities we have, we will work together and make sure that we take out those that are illegal in the country.
Final one from me, Police Commissioner. Perhaps this is a baptism of fire for you, if I can put it that way. perhaps you might also come under criticism. Have you been able to identify what we believe is the other 7 South Africans who have been killed here in Diepsloot? Have you been able to find their families or their loved ones? Have you visited them? I'm sure those who are watching at home might criticize you and say you're first to run when there's foreign nationals who've been met with such an unfortunate circumstance.
Yesterday we were here with the Minister of Police. We visited the scenes of crime, we visited some families in this area. And we are aware that there are 4 people murdered. The 7th, we don't know where you get it from. Maybe you give us the record, or at least murder, you will have a body. You show us those 7 bodies. We are aware of 4, and we visited those families together with the minister. We visited the crime scenes. So we are not visiting, discriminating against one another. We visit the scene of crime, not to say who is involved or who is the victim.
And how are you going to address, maybe final for me as well, the issue of the community now seeming to take charge against the undocumented foreign nationals? And it's an issue that we're seeing right around Gauteng and in other parts of the province.
For us to tackle that is to work together as government departments and make sure that we take out all the illegal or undocumented people that are in those specific communities. So it will be a continuous operation that we will carry on throughout Gauteng and make sure that we take out those illegal people.
Police
Thank you very much. That is Fani Masemola, the man now, the top cop, in fact, Commissioner of the police here, on his way to visit the home and family of 43-year-old Aviwe Mtila, the Zimbabwean national. You can see the minister there, Bheki Cele, coming in as well. Of course, it seems now going towards the scene there. But, of course, you heard how then the police came about this, that police nyala that came across the body itself, just as all of these are happening. There's the police minister going to the actual crime scene now. Bheki Cele, maybe also going to give us a bit of note on how to go about it. This, of course, is the crime scene here. What you're seeing this very moment is a crime scene where the 43-year-old Aviwe Mtila lost his life at the hands of, we understand, some of the community members. Community mob taking justice on their own hands, but we also hear the criminal elements, of course, that were happening at the time. We heard from the wife of Aviwe Mtila how all of this happened, how these perpetrators went in there even demanding money, one of them wanting 300 rand, the wife saying that they only have 50 rand, they wanted an identity document. Aviwe Mtila trying to run away from the situation, but followed, of course, by the community member. You can see that some of these community members now watching on as the police minister tries to interact. Of course, a lot of questions still need to be answered in terms of the visibility of the TRT, which Fani Masemola, the police commissioner, says they're quite visible, they're there on the ground, the promises have been kept. But of course, the question then is, how does this gruesome murder continue if there's an additional deployment? We heard of around 120 police that have been deployed here. We heard 16 vans that are already on the ground here. And we heard, of course, police minister suggesting yesterday that there will be detectives on the ground to look in particular in these murders. It looks like the minister is going to talk now, so I'm going to come closer and bring the microphone in just so we'll be able to listen in.
And I think they're going to open up for a statement now. Minister, very good afternoon to you. You are in Diepsloot this afternoon. Unfortunate incidents. You were scheduled to be here only tomorrow. You're back here today. I understand this is an impromptu visit, but you come here and someone has died.
Yes, as a state, as a government, we need to respond when things like this happen. So we had to come here, but also we had to check if things that we have committed ourselves on are being implemented before the day we come back here. Unfortunate thing happened here where we lost the life. The police, I'm sure they will pursue that and be able to find the culprits. We're having senior detectives here who has put quite a top team to pursue this, but not only this and other cases that have taken place here at Diepsloot, so that we're able to reduce the criminality, especially the murders, because we are able to collect those. If we don't arrest these people, crime will continue. So that's why we're here.
Minister, I just want to touch on the promises you made yesterday. The police commissioner seems to suggest that all have been met, and in fact, those deployments, an additional 120 police members on the ground already. My question is then, how effective are they if these murders still continue and persist? You're telling me 16 vans are on the ground, but still the very issue that is plagued by Diepsloot is ongoing.
We did not make promises, we made commitments, and we are honoring those commitments. I'm sure a station commander can take you to the station now and to show you those new cars. They are there. It's not just the words anymore. 63 members were on the ground last night. What maybe is not said very much is that they came late here. They did come. Captain Modiba was leading that POP. They came here. Unfortunate that it was on the late side. Well, I hear some people saying there were no police, but 24 people were arrested here last night. Now, I don't know who arrested them. If there were no police, I think we need to put the signage there. 24 arrested, no police, it doesn't tally. And those people that were arrested last night. Indeed, this is a place that, no doubt about it, is very difficult to police. I was here at Extension 1 yesterday. I got out of this Star Road. I was moving on these other areas. Yesterday, the commitments we made, it was about 4, bringing those police, bringing those cars. Today, we're well established that people will be patrolling here, as the National Commission has given you the figure. Last night there were 63, but all units that we have committed to bring, we have brought, including the cars, including the detectives. But yesterday, you remember, we were with the Premier here. Is one thing that we are raising. As South African police, we do have a problem when it comes to environmental design of the area. It does give us problems sometimes to police on those areas, but we're not going to wait for that to improve the situation, to have the numbers on the houses, to have the lights at night. We will be doing the best that we can do. Tomorrow we're having a meeting with the community. We are looking at the sustainability of the programs that we have put. Before, we didn't discuss that, and there was withdrawal maybe before the stabilization and all that. They will stay here. We'll agree with the community when we all decide that we can withdraw those people. But we will be doing together with the community. The councillors are here, 4 of them. Tomorrow we'll be meeting other people from other structures.
Minister, there's been a long-standing question about the resourcing of the police stations. And I want to speak specifically about Gauteng. I think there's 143 police stations in Gauteng. And it's a constant concern from communities about police visibility. I have no doubt that your men in blue and women would want to do their jobs, but communities simply feel that it's insufficient. What do you do about the long-standing problem of ensuring that these police stations are properly resourced and are able then to deal with the crimes that many of these communities are raising, not just only here in Diepsloot, but other areas where we've seen similar problems?
Well, this is my second life. It can go. This is my second life with the police. When I was here 2010, there were 195,000 police. Almost, if you give a round figure, that would have been 200,000. And we had the population of 49 million people. That's 2010. Today we have a population of 60 million, and we have gone back to 182,000. We've gone down. So you would expect these shortages. But thanks to the President and the new Minister of Finance, who have seen that they need to capacitate the police. As we speak, from the 1st of this month, 10,000 of the new recruits are all over our academies, including 3,000 of them that are being trained in Kimberley in the South African National Defence Force facility. So we have 10,000. Come December 15, they will all come there, and we'll add another 5,000, and continuing forward will increase. So besides that, last 2 years we could not recruit a single new blood in the police because of the COVID, but also the numbers have really dwindled. That's what we are correcting. The community very soon will be taken care of when we send them back to the stations.
Minister,
okay.
there's a question right here.
It's from the side. I just want to get, the community says wants to work with the police to remove foreign nationals in this community. What's your take on that? Number two, what is the involvement of intelligence in if the police can be present in an area and still such a crime happens? And what is your assessment of what the intelligence of police has done so far in the past 48 hours?
Well, number one, that communities they work with the police is constitutional. It is a constitutional obligation and legislated that will work with the communities. But that does not make communities the police officers. They still work as community, create the link up between the police and the community. We have legislated structures like CPF. There are other new structures that are coming, Neighborhood Watch and other structures that we'll work with. But we will not allow communities to take law in their hands, or even to accompany. If they give us information, if they point where to go, but police cannot be accompanied by individuals and be told by those individuals, do this and don't do that. It can't happen. We are legislated, we are in the Constitution. It's a job of the police what to do. 205, it explains, and nobody else has that obligation except the police. Working with the communities, indeed. Even now, if you read the SONA, even if you read the report of the expert appointed by the president about July, they are emphasizing on the point of working with the communities. So that one is given.
And the intelligence?
I'm answering you, man. That is given. So we can't question working with the communities. The only thing, we all work and within our lanes. They work on the community lane, we work on the police lane. When it comes to intelligence, indeed, police were here last night, and they came late on this. We'll have to check what happened, why they delayed, but to say we did not respond to our commitments, that is not very correct. Indeed, this unfortunate thing happened, that a person died here. The situation here did not even need intelligence, because it's obvious that the need presence of the police and the response of the police. Exactly what happened here, national commissions here, is one issue that we are looking at.
Thank you, colleague. Thank you, Minister.
Okay, that's the police minister, Bheki Cele, just talking on that unfortunate incident, the murder of Elvis Nyati, 43-year-old Zimbabwean, that murder happening yesterday, and taking accountability, because you'd understand that, Maseko, this is just on the day, in fact, that the community has been crying for assistance from the police, and on the day that they receive this very assistance, the vigilantism continues, the murders continues, because we heard over the weekend there were a number of murders that then led to the community wanting to shut down Diepsloot because of those murders. They say that the police need to be more effective. We heard from the police minister that just yesterday alone, 63 additional police members were on the ground here, saying that, admittingly, that they arrived late in terms of being deployed, but nonetheless, 63 members later, the murders still continue and persist. So the minister now going to visit the family of Elvis Nyati and the wife over there of Elvis Nyati, the 43-year-old that lost his life, of course, just last night. Now we're going to put our mic there just to listen in on the minister.
Minister, are you going to visit the family?
No, the police have visited
And how's the family doing? What are they saying? What are they telling you, Minister?
Who?
The family of Elvis Nyati.
As I say, Brigadier visited the family this morning. Brigadier that's a person who visited.
Thank you very much,
Brigadier, how's the family doing? What are they telling you, the family that you visited this morning?
Yeah, they're still dealing with the situation so far.
And the family, how are they doing? What are they telling you?
Well, they're shocked. They're still under shock and they cannot really say much. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, that's the Brigadier leading the Diepsloot police station there as the minister now just engaging a number of community members as he's making his way out here. Bheki Cele, of course, flanked by Fani Masimula, the police commissioner, and of course the Brigadier himself. Minister.
So what are you going to tell the community tomorrow?
I'm harassed.
All right, the minister
Seeming to feel that
all right, the minister
he's harassed.
conversation with
But of course, trying to make his way out. He's going to be back here tomorrow. But of course, you know, journalists are journalists. They'll keep on wanting those answers and, of course, wanting those questions. The delegation is now going to try to make its way out here, of course, visiting the family of Elvis Nyati, the 43-year-old. And the minister is still engaging the community. I'm not sure what exactly he's saying to the community because, of course, you would want more reaffirming words to this community that has lost lives over the weekend. And they saw a deployment come in yesterday. 63 additional members were told the vans are at the police station, yet it seems that these murders are persisting. I actually want to see what some of the community members are going to say. Just a reflection on these murders that we're seeing.
My brother, we're just asking for electricity.
Okay, this gentleman wanting electricity, but I want to try to go back to the minister and just get a sense of what's happening.
Around the community yesterday, we made a commitment to the community that will bring more cars yesterday. I'm sure you were there, you saw those cars coming. Yeah, there are 16 those cars. They just need to be branded to show that they belong to the station. They are permanently there in the station, those cars. And then we're increasing the numbers of the police. I usually don't brand around the numbers, but there are police that are here extra. We'll be having more extra police come the night. We have sent more detectives to deal with the cold cases. We want to believe that in spite of what happened here, which is very unfortunate that we had to lose life again, want to happen here, we believe that the situation will improve.
I mean, what were the shortcomings that could have been prevented before the occurrence of that event, and what are you going to do about that now going forward?
Well, the shortcoming of this area is the life of this area itself. As the police, we always raise the issue that we are suffering from environmental design as the police. For instance, if you say to me, somebody took your cell phone and ran to the house, where will you tell me where he get? What house number, what street and all that? That's one area for the police that takes some time for them to respond. But I'm told that all these lights during night, they're not working. And it's environmental design. We were with the Premier yesterday. We raised that thing that finally the lives of the people here will have to improve. Not what you see on the sewage and every other thing. But having said that, Christina asked this question now. Having said that, we will be speaking with the community tomorrow. The main discussion is the sustainability of the programs that we have put here. 2 years ago, I was here. We put the programs, but we did not talk about when to withdraw and under what conditions. But things that have happened, and we have found that the police had the shortcoming themselves as the police, will be looking on those matters.
Okay. Lastly, Minister, what are the preventive measures do you have in place to make sure that what is happening here in Diepsloot does not happen in Cosmo City, does not happen in Promptia, and in many other areas in Gauteng? What's the prevention method and measures do you have in place?
You really want me to tell you what our methodology is of doing things?
Is there a plan? That's
yes.
what I'm trying to get.
Yes.
Are you sure that is not going to happen?
Well, we can't be sure. There is nobody that has the sure about any kind of plan. You just put things maximum, you satisfy yourself that you have done your best and you stick to the plan. We believe that out of that plan, life will be better.
Any arrest in relation to the last night's killing, Minister?
Not yet. Not yet regarding the last night. But as I've said, that This is a top detective of this province, has put the team who are following the lead.
All right, thank you very much,
Minister, just giving the last words to the media there as he is leaving now, of course. Just coming to this community once more after that visit that we saw yesterday, where he said that he made those commitments of additional reinforcements. But of course, it seems these murders continues even after the reinforcements. Minister engaging now with the crowd, some of the community members, and in fact introducing a police lady here, one of the women in blue here, just engaging the community as he's going to make his way away, of course, from Elvis Nyati's home. 43-year-old Zimbabwean that lost his life last night, we understand, at the hands of some of the community members. Some of those similar deaths that we were reported over the weekend. We now know that the official number is 4, but of course the community is still unsettled, given that the minister was here yesterday, gave those commitments, and today is coming back once more to even look at a family that has lost the life of one of its people, one of the residents here, even after those reinforcements have been put in place. Minister still making his way around here and seemingly now walking towards, we're not sure if he's going back to his car or if he's making his way, making his way to his car now, about to leave the people of Diepsloot here. Extension 1, it is one of the poorest areas in Diepsloot, which makes you even question some of the motives and the murders that have been happening around this area here. And of course the police commissioner also going into his car, about to leave Diepsloot. They've been here for around 30 or so minutes, now making their way, leaving the family, of course, and the crime scene itself. More importantly, they came to see the crime scene itself. We hear that the police station commissioner is the one that actually engaged the family, and I'm going to try move now and see what the community has to say just about the visit that we saw now, as well as even maybe get insight on what happened yesterday and what they themselves would like to see happening going forward. Are they happy about the levels of crime, and are they happy about what has actually been done here? I'm going to try to get a word some of the community members. Siswam, sanamkela ku eNCA, uMinister Zille apha wafaka amapolisa amaninzi. How do you feel when it's a community?
We're paying too much. Sesirega mo Diepsloot. Hey, ke tloba boroko. Kosa robale. Robala re thedi je le go tlele re khotla khotla. Ra tsoša tlhogo re nya go bona re na go regang. Re go botlhoko too much.
The lady saying that they're feeling too much pain, they're not sleeping in Diepsloot, of course, because of these acts of murder that have been happening on continuously. Siswam, have you seen the police yourself, that the new deployment? We heard there were 63 amapoisa masha. Uwabonile wena ngamehlo wakho?
Yeah, ke abone bekile gona. Ke abone mabana.
Oh, okay. Aluncedo apha emphakathini, did you see them help? Even Elvis that we hear lost his life here.
Eish, je didn't check ne matla o dubulela cause arna matla too much. A o bulela.
Yeah, it says it doesn't have much power even to speak, but we're still going to continue moving along, getting word and sentiment from some of these community members. Siswam, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
I just want to get a sense of understanding. The minister says he's put in more reinforcements in Diepsloot in terms of curbing the crime around here. Are you satisfied with the minister's response, given that there was a murder just last night?
Yeah. For yesterday, yeah. Because my partner actually a patrol the whole night. You understand that? So until in the morning.
So you saw the police patrol. Would you want this to be a more permanent solution? Because those are the discussions that will be happening tomorrow. Minister saying that he'll come back tomorrow to talk to the community itself. What would you want as a community, given just ahead of tomorrow?
Protection. Put dangerous more Diepsloot. Because I rob la monte. Safe. We want protection, fella.
We want protection only. community members saying that they don't feel safe in Diepsloot. Of course, that convoy still leaving this very moment, accompanying the minister as well as the police commissioner. I'm still going to try to get word from some of these other people just to understand. So, thank you for joining us at eNCA, but are you happy with the interventions from the minister, Namapoi Samash?
Awa ke thabile kudu le nna sera re go tloa mamhla re tla kgona go phela ka o lokologa ka gore re kgolo re kgone go ekeditša divene tša go feta ka mokgodileng gona ko police station gore re nyaka service re kgone go attendiwa ka pele.
Okay, and how's it been? Maybe take us through with what's been happening in Diepsloot.
Diepsloot a re phele botse re phela ka letšhogo mo especially letšatši le subela go gare ga beke ke weekend go no tshwana batho ba bolaiwa mo strateng ba tlhobola diaparo ba tlhobola dieta re tšelwa di cell phone if o ba se ifu tsena ka ntlong eli ba o tsenela ka gare ga mokhukhu ba o tšela everything o nang le yona ba fetša ba go bolaya.
Okay, thank you very much. This lady detailing just some of what's been happening before these new interventions, just how brazen these murders have been, how the rapes have been on continuous, the murders themselves, and how just the theft even around what's been taken from the community members. But of course now saying that they're happy with what they're seeing on the ground. Never mind the tragic incident that happened of the death that happened yesterday, but it seems that there is police visibility now, which is some sort of reassuring to the community members here who previously said that they haven't had this visibility. Of course, we'll still try to get word as we move in and around, trying to get reaction from the various stakeholders here from this minister's visit, and also this new deployment. We hear in totality there is about 63 police members that were on the ground yesterday, but in total, Fani Masimola, the commissioner, telling us that there is, of course, 120 that are on the ground now. I actually want to catch up with some of these community leaders this very moment to find out how they feel with the recent interventions. One of them, of course, is Andrew Maleka, who we've been speaking to extensively yesterday. Andrew, I just want to catch up with you once more, Andrew. Minister is here. Are you happy as a community given that there has been this additional deployment?
No,
Okay, Andrew not wanting to comment today, but of course, Maseko, the visit from the minister, the police commissioner, visiting the family of Elvis Nyati and the crime scene itself, the 43-year-old Zimbabwean that lost his life yesterday.
All right, senior reporter Aviwe Mtila in Diepsloot for us there. Of course, we'll go back to Aviwe as and when more developments happen. As you saw there, the Minister Bheki Cele as well as the National Police Commissioner Fani Masimola visiting that area today. They'll be going back there tomorrow with Home Affairs Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi. Let's give you the story.